Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Halifax Partnerships webinar on writing for e-commerce. I'm Jason Guidry, and I'm part of the Halifax Partnerships Smart Business team. The Halifax Partnerships is Halifax's economic development organization, and we support businesses of every shape and size in all corners of HRM. As I mentioned in our product photography webinar, over the past year, many businesses have diversified their client base by launching a transactional e-commerce website. The partnership has helped with this with programs such as the eBay Retail Revival Program, the Access Local Program, which we developed in partnership with VLife, and the ShopHERE program, where we partnered with Digital Main Street and Google. Through this work, we identified two issues businesses were struggling with when preparing to launch a store online. First was product photography, and second was writing descriptive text and properly presenting their products or services. This is why we've partnered with e-commerce consultant Tina Feitosa of Not Just a Pretty Interface to develop two webinars to help businesses with these important aspects of e-commerce. Our session this morning is about 45 minutes long. So we'll have time for all of your questions at the end. Please use the chat function to send your questions throughout the presentation, and we'll address them before we finish up today. Now I'd like to introduce you to Tina, who will walk you through the principles of writing for e-commerce.
Thank you, Jason. Good morning, everyone. Hope you have a good cup of coffee next to you, and this is going to be a really good session, a really good ride. Let me zoom. Okay, so well, my name is Tina Feitosa. I'm an e-commerce consultant at my agency called Not Just a Pretty Interface. I'm originally from Brazil, but now living in St. Peter's, Cape Breton, and living the dream. It's just beautiful here. It's beautiful to work with e-commerce in such a gorgeous province and such a gorgeous island. I've been working with e-commerce since 2007, and I focused my career on online visual merchandising. And I love working with small businesses and help them create e-commerces and new stores and enhance their presence and just make them flourish and make them thrive in the online world. I'm also a Shopify partner, and I mainly use this platform in all my projects. So before we start talking about copywriting for e-commerce or writing product descriptions for e-commerce, let's just understand a little bit what is a product? What is a product in a real store, and what is a product in an online store? So in a real store, the product is physical. It's immediately available for the customer to explore through senses. So you can touch the product, you can smell, you can taste. And in a store, you can also read the packaging or the label if you have any, if you need more information about it, you need more technical detail about it. Also, if the packaging or the label doesn't help you, you can always reach out to a sales associate, and they'll help you decide if that product is right or if you need something else. And in some cases, at a store, when we go shopping, we have company with us to help us decide if that product is the one or not. So in an online store, the product isn't there. What we have is actually the representation of the product through images, videos, and written elements. And this is why a complete product page is so important for the success of the online store. And actually, the only thing in common between a regular store or a real life store and an e-commerce is that the competitor is just a click or a tap away, because shoppers are always carrying their smartphones with them, and they're always researching prices and specs online, and even getting more information about the product and product reviews from other websites. So the same thing happens when you're home, with your phone or your laptop, trying to purchase something, and you just go open another tab and look into other websites. In a store, it's the same thing, except you have your phone and your competitor is right there next to you. So how do we actually represent a product in an online store? The product is represented by its title, its SKU, the variants, the size chart, composition, care instructions, price, the photography, the video, and also the technical and the romantic descriptions. I just want to make one thing clear before we go on. Copywriting is more than just product description. Pop-up banners, home and collection banners, call to action buttons, collateral banners and images. All these elements must reflect your brand's vision, mission, and especially the value proposition. Also part of your e-commerce copywriting package includes the product title, the product meta description, the collection description, the static pages. By static pages, I mean the About Us page, the FAQ pages, pages that you don't, you build it once and you don't change that often. Automated emails, which are different than email marketing. Automated emails are those chains of emails that you start getting after you place an order or after you leave a product and abandon in the cart, and you start getting these automated emails that are triggered on the platform. And also blog posts and articles. So they're all part of the copywriting strategy of your website. And everything that I'm gonna say and then discuss in the next 45 minutes will be focused on product description, but you can use these concepts and these references for building the rest of your copywriting on your site. So let's talk about romantic description first, and then we'll go to a technical description. So the romantic description is a description that involves the product in a situation, a context in which the customer can relate to. So what it does is it embellishes the product, highlights its benefits, and sells an experience. It can be combined with some technical descriptions in order to compose a narrative. So to start brainstorming your own romantic description, start with the word imagine and end the description in your head with the customer using the product and living their lives, happy and bright and finally, realized and successful because they purchase whatever you're selling. Build that narrative in your mind and imagine how beautiful your client's life will be after they purchase your product, and then go from there and how you're going to translate that into words and something that makes sense for your brand and makes sense for your client. This reference from Florence's collection, which is a brand from Halifax. She started online on Instagram, I believe, and then she opened a store, I think, in North Street, and now she's completely online and Instagram. She always, and I find one little note here is that I find that all these shops that started on Instagram, they have such beautiful, beautiful descriptions. They really embrace the product. It feels like they're taking the product with one hand and taking you with the other hand, and then just showing and connecting with them, because that's how Instagram, that's how social media works. You got to have some really original and compelling content in order to get that double tap and that like, and then finally the conversion to purchase. Anyway, so going back to her website, she says here, made in France, the showstopper was what vintage junkies call a unicorn find. It's all in the details, and there's so many worth pointing out. Apart from the frosted glass shade, intricate gold detailing, and fringe pull switch, the brass accents are what really stood out to me. I've never seen a chain like this, and from top to bottom, each chain link is engraved. It casts a warm glow that you can stare at it forever. It is a conversation piece that will steal off the attention in whatever room it lives. I mean, she's an expert. If she says that this brass chain is unique and she's never seen anything like this before, I mean, take my money because, by the image, it looks like a really amazing product, but what she's describing are things that I can't really see on the image. And it just, one thing complements the other, and I'm ready to put my credit card details. So this next example is a store from China called Kin Objects. They are an incense store, and they sell incense, incense, of course, and incense holders, like really beautiful, unique design incense holders. And they have so much amazing and relevant copy that after going through the site, you'll feel smarter on incense and Chinese incense culture. They describe the process of production of their incenses in such a detailed way that you feel already purified and relaxed just by reading it. I feel I can trust what they're offering me, and the description complements exactly what I'm seeing in the picture. So, so incense is a really good example of a product that is you buy it by the way it smells, right? And the benefits that burning that incense, burning that stick will bring to your health or to your mental health or whatever. But it's basically the fragrance that that will make you make the decision of purchasing or not. And fragrance, unfortunately, is it's a really complicated thing to to transmit through through an e-commerce interface or internet or online, because it's just a screen, right? It's just the monitor, it's just the screen of your phone. Anyway, they say here, I'm gonna try to read this because and I apologize for it's a little tiny, it's a very wordy and little tiny, but I'm gonna read this so you guys can understand the beauty of this description. So it says here, so inspired by the quiet allure of blooming flowers at dusk, the floral smell of this collection is distinct yet soft. The incense is made using a traditional technique where the incense powder is ground using a water wheel and then blended with carefully selected mineral-rich water, creating an all-natural product with minimal environmental impact. I mean, it's, I'm already feeling great just by reading a little bit of this. It's, it makes me feel like they're really putting effort into the environmental aspects of this product and making sure that it really it's really built or created using the traditional Chinese incense the way of making incense. Let's put it this way. I'm not an incense expert, so just by reading this, I'm learning a little bit more, and I'm sold. I'm sold. I mean, this is beautiful. And then when you scroll down this page here, we have the description of the fragrances that this collection is selling. And then each one describes the type of fragrance, and it's, yeah, it's very convincing to say the least. It's a really good product page. ModCloth is a reference that I've been using in my research for about 10 years. They were definitely bolder and more wordy before. I remember one of my classes that I delivered in about e-commerce for fashion back in Brazil, I'd say 7 years ago or something. I remember using ModCloth as one of the examples, and they had, I'd say, like 8 lines of romantic description. Now, I think they're sold, the company was sold to the Walmart group, if I'm not mistaken. So I think things got a little, more standardized, but they still they're still maintaining their identity and the way they talk with their customers. I'm never going to say that ModCloth talks to their customers. They talk with their customers, and that's exactly what you're aiming with your copywriting in e-commerce. So so as I said before, the copywriting starts with the product title, right? So this is a skirt, like an A-shaped skirt. And the title is "You Sassy Thing Skater Skirt." So just by looking at this, you understand exactly where this brand is and if this product is speaks to you or not. And the description starts with, "If you didn't already believe in miracles, this black skater skirt will make you change your mind." I mean, if a simple skirt can be a miracle, then I'm for only $39. I mean, here, take my money. This is great. And then right after this beautiful description, they list the technicality details of the product, as the composition, the measurements, that it's imported, side pockets, and all of that. But it's a really good example too. So let's talk about Tushy. I don't know if you guys have seen Tushy on social media. They're really, really big. And I find their copywriting is just amazing. It's a great example of how using humor can be the ultimate icebreaker for a more complicated and, quote unquote, taboo subject, such as, well, pooping. They talk about it with irreverence, and if it makes you laugh, then you're definitely the target audience for this brand. So I'm gonna read it, but you guys can't see because I have my camera down, but I'm blushing right now, okay? So it says here, poo-poo with the Tushy ottoman, spray with the Tushy bidet, and pat dry with the Tushy stand and tissues. With the Tushy system, every phase of your toileting experience is enhanced, leaving you completely satisfied, completely clean, and completely guilt-free. And then when you scroll down their page, you get to this infographic type of content, and that explains the benefits of this product. So they keep on using these words that we aren't used to read, but maybe we say it in a more casual context. And you would never expect to see this in an online store. So this is why, like, it's so catchy. And as I said, if you're laughing, just put your credit card, because you're definitely the target audience, and you're definitely, this product is definitely talking with you, and it's good for you. So, well, I'm not going to read this, but just, go look out at their website and laugh out with their description, because it's really good. And here's a completely different example of a product description. This is Liberty of London. And so it's, luxury, high-end fashion. And so they focus on a more editorial style approach for their product description. It's a serious description. It's a more magazine style description. It's like I feel like I'm making an important purchase just by reading this description and considering this product. And it's just a pair of sneakers. But it's so, the details are so serious and so editorial for this product, that I understand that this is completely different from ModCloth. This is a completely different audience. And if you would use the ModCloth way of talking, a way of writing for their copywriting and engaging with their client on Liberty, it could be a little complicated. So, and the other way around too, the customers aren't expecting that. They're expecting exactly this type of content. Now let's talk a bit about technical description. Technical description is the no frills description, and it bases itself on the tangible aspects of the product. And depending on the type of product that you're selling, this can be a deal breaker for the client conversion, because the technical description will inform the user exactly what they're getting in the mail. So the technical description is composed by the SKU, the style code, the material and composition, the size, the size chart, the colors, the care instructions, the how to use, how to handle. And the one that I love the most is what's in the box, because sometimes you're looking at the picture and you think, okay, so all this stuff comes in my box. All this stuff belongs to the product, all these bits. And then when you get the product, it's nothing like that. Like it was, it was something else, or some things missing or not. But so if it's described, it's listed, everything that is contained in that box, and you know exactly what you're going to receive, and the chances that you'll return or exchange or complain about this brand or this product are lower. So it's a higher success rate by just following this little checklist. So Girl From Away is also a really good example that I use in my research. And so this is a Double Trouble t-shirt. The picture itself, you can see, like it's funny, has humor, it's very laid back. The romantic description is cute too. It says, Double Trouble tees are designed maximum shenaniganing. They're soft, smooth, and feature a fine jersey construction. T-shirt is either white or navy. Print is either navy or white. And then it describes here that's a sweatshop free. So it's it's a sustainable. It has a sustainable production in the back. The tee is made by American Apparel and screen printed in Canada. And here's some measurements for the different sizes of product. So, again, like the use of these words, shenanigan, double trouble, like if these are very carefully curated and picked words to talk to their clients. You don't just, if your client is expecting that, if you have that opening with them, because you did your research on your branding, you did your research on your target audience, then those are definitely words that you're going to use. But if you don't feel comfortable using them, then definitely don't. You have to really understand who you are and understand who you're talking to in order to pick these more more detailed words, just like the Tushy reference. These two types of descriptions can coexist, and they should coexist on the same product page. It is encouraged that they are presented together, and there are no rules for which comes first. Usually the romantic description comes first, and then the technical follows. But it also depends on your product and what is the most important aspect of it that your customer needs to know first. And Claire V, it's this store here that I have on the screen, is a good example of not having a romantic description, but the pictures that they have online, they are already selling me the lifestyle. So I apologize, the image, she's giving her back here because I had to scroll down a bit, but you can see on the other images that she, there is an attitude, there is a lifestyle that, that she's selling, that I'm convinced, I'm buying into it. But the details here on the side, even though there is no, well, there's some little romantic description up here, but the main technical description here, it complements everything that I cannot, see or understand just by looking at the picture. Like that, it's 100% cotton, it's pre-shrunk, you can, wash it in your washing machine. It's made in LA, and then the size chart here below. This is an example from Rosebud Apparel, which is also, it's a Canadian, small Canadian brand. And they have some really, again, basic t-shirts, but they're fun. The images are fun, and the romantic description is really short, but it's straight to the point. So this t-shirt has a print that says, "I'm thrilled to be here." And the description says, "I'm thrilled to be here. A variation of our buttons screen out the message either sincerely or sarcastically, appropriate for all events." So it's just, the picture sells itself. So there's not much, to talk about except for this, this sarcastic or sincere message that they're pulling. And then below you have the size chart and an explanation that the t-shirts are unisex fit. Made with Local is a Valley-based B Corp a company that makes food bars with local ingredients. They explain in the product description where the ingredients are sourced and highlights the possible allergenics in its composition. So it says here, and this is a cranberry choco chunk food bar, and it's so good. It's one of my favorites too, actually. They say here, "This tasty little number is our in-house favorite. The pairing of tart cranberries and rich dark chocolate is so decadent. We source our cranberries from Terra Beata Cranberries in beautiful Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, and the chocolate is fair trade, organic, 70% dark chocolate from the lovely folks at Camino, based in Ottawa, Ontario. Take it to the next level. As moms, these are our go-to hiding in the closet snacks. No sharesies." And then below they list the ingredients and the highlight that contains tree nuts and may contain peanuts and wheat. And one thing I want to highlight in this description here is that how it clearly states their target audience. So they're moms that are concerned about their family's health and sugar intake. So of course anybody can buy this, but the owner that created Made with Local, she was a mom. She started as being a mom and and needing granola bars or easy snacks for her kids and for herself, of course. So she's had some recipe and she started doing it herself. So then she took it to the next level by hiring an industrial kitchen and making a whole business out of it, and even being a B corporation, which is very, very amazing. So yeah, like you can understand clearly from this description that everything you will eat, everything you're going to put in your system from this food bar is organic, it's healthy, and it's guilt-free, basically. Again, just laughing because this brand was already staying home before staying home was cool. Stay Home Club is a brand that started before COVID-19, just in case you're wondering. And their romantic description is very short and sweet. And the technical description contains all the information about the tangible aspects of the product without bullet points, but in a short and objective way. So I think you noticed so far that the technical description, it can either be listed in bullets, which I personally love because it's so easy to see. You just look at the screen, you know exactly. It's easier to understand what you're looking at, especially if you're a visual person like me. When you write the product technical description in just in text, it has to be, it's a little more complicated, but so you have to make it work and to be very, very clear and not confusing, of course, because people don't really read it online, but when they do, they're really looking for all the information they can get about that product or about that brand. So I think this is a little bit bigger, but I'm going to read it too. So in accordance with the important tenet of stay home and eat chips, we present this amazing sterling silver potato chip necklace by Montreal jeweler Elaine Ho. The rippled chip pendant is cast in solid sterling silver, hand finished, oxidized, and polished. It measures about 1 inch long and hangs on an 18 long sterling silver chain. And then the other images here, we can, well, I can't click, but we can see that it's on the mannequin, so you can see exactly like how big it is, and proportionally to a body type, to a body size. Yeah, like the image speaks for itself, but again the description, it will validate, it will confirm exactly what you're seeing on the image. And this description, even though, as I said before, I'm not a fan of just a paragraph of technical description, but it's it really speaks everything. It really says everything that I need to know about this product. And I personally don't, I would just buy this because I like to stay home and I like chips, so I think this is the product for me. Okay, this one is great actually. This is a Woof concept, and I adopted a dog a few months ago, and for the first time in 15 years, and I was thrilled and over the moon, and I wanted to buy everything for the dog, like the dog was my second child. And then I realized that we don't buy cute dog collars, so rationalizing much. So I didn't buy this donut one, I bought another one from the same brand, but it really appeals to our emotions and the aspect of the product through images and copywriting. This store, as I said, Woof Concept, it invests in original print design for their dog collars. But what makes the product better than the others in terms of technicality is described all over their website and in their collections page and under the romantic description. But so first you're going to pick the type of collar that you want. So this is like a more simple color. They have the harnesses, they have a bunch of different products. So you'll pick the product type first, and then you will pick the print or the design that goes on it. So their copywriting style for the designs, for the prints, they create a fantastic world. And in this case, this fantastic world is your dog being an inspiring canine unit, and therefore the donuts on the print. So it says here, police cruisers, donuts, and a good dog. An iconic trio that inspired this design. Perfect for any canine inspiring dog, or one would just like treats. Feature on our staple clothing and gear, flex this look on our leashes, harnesses, and collars. Our designs are getting bolder with the builds to meet while the build meets your standards. Get it while supplies last though, as we have a feeling these might go out of stock like a regular box of donuts at the office. So it's just gorgeous. It's really, it really sells the product, and it really, it just creates a whole fantasy world. And if you're into donuts or into this type of design, then you'll definitely buy it. And in case you aren't convinced, they have the features listed in bullet points just below to remind you that this is built with a premium dual layer of polypro webbing, whatever that means. That it feels like it's a very strong and robust product that will last for a long time. It's also made in Canada. And its unique design and pattern is printed on both sides, and it has a lifetime warranty, and it's made with a YKK side release buckle. So if they're co-branding with YKK, which is one of the biggest like zipper and well, buckles and buttons manufactured, then it's a good thing. It doesn't mean that you're gonna buy this and you're gonna have to buy another one in a month or whenever, or that your dog, or even worse, that your dog is gonna break free, it's gonna break on his neck and he'll escape from your leash. And yeah, it's really fun, and this is how we are convinced that this is the right product for you. Like it's not rationalizing why do you need a dog collar. Maybe you do need a dog collar, but if you already have a dog collar, you already have the dog, and you're going to buy the new one because of the print, because of the whole romantic description and the romantic side of it, the whole aspirational point of this product. And it convinced me. I think I bought two at the end. It was I couldn't decide, so I just got both, and the dog was really cute with it until she hated colors, but oh well. This is another example from cotton. It's a ribbed short. And what I like about this is it's really simple, really straight to the point. So in a little more than 3 lines, it describes exactly what I see in the picture, and it confirms its cozy quality to it, which nowadays, now that we're working from home and being set down for longer, it's really important to have comfortable clothes. So they've been really on point with their product description and the type of products that they already offer. One thing that they say here, that it's lightweight, is one thing that I can't really understand just by looking at the image. So it's great that they have this described on the side, so I can understand that this product, maybe it's not good for my I'm not gonna say my winter days, but I'm expecting to use this more in a more summery and more warmer weather. Let me see here. So, and it also has, I'm going to talk more about this, but it says, it has a little description here in the bottom that says exactly what size the model is wearing. And that's very, very helpful, especially for apparel. So you can decide if, which product size is the right one for you. And here's the same example that I used last week on our product photography webinar, because I just find this, I just love this example. I mean, if you guys were there last week, I talked about the product image being really, really skinny, really thin, and hard to guess just by looking at it if this will actually fit you. So they added a model, which is amazing. So you can see exactly how the product fits on a real person. But then they, again, as I said from the previous example, they have this little caption that says, Chloe is 5'5", a regular XL, wearing an XL. First of all, they refer her by her name, Chloe. So instantly, she's not just the model. She's not just the mannequin. She's a real person with a real name. So this approximates the user, your customer, to your product and to your brand, just by adding the name of the person. It could be her real name, could be just a made up name, but it really creates a connection between you two. It's like, someone is introducing you to their friend, and oh, this is Chloe. Instantly you have a connection with Chloe. This is the psychology behind of this, the online visual merchandising, basically. And yeah, like you just, so this is a great product page. I can clearly understand how, that she's an extra large and wearing an extra large. And so I can compare myself to this data, not comparing, oh, I'm, who is better. No, I'm talking about data comparison. So if I know that by looking that she's an extra large, she's wearing an extra large, and this is how it looks like on her, I can, do some math in my head and understand, okay, so I might be a little bit bigger, I'm a little bit smaller, so perhaps a double extra large will fit better, or maybe no, I think a medium, because it looks like this product stretches a lot, so I'll stick to. Anyway, you'll come up with the solution on your mind for this product, if this product fits you or not, if it's good for you for what you're looking for or not. Here's another. This is a really great example, and I keep thinking on the back end of things. So as I said, I have over 10 years of experience in e-commerce, and when I had my store back in Brazil, we had. Oh my God, it was really funny actually. So we made a on-demand T-shirts and sweatshirts, bodysuits, and everything had print. What was dye sublimated with with artworks from original artists and all. Anyway, all the products were made with using polyester, a polyester fabric because of dye sublimation, and that was all based on our business model. But one of the questions that I used to get the most was if the bodysuits were too hot. They heat you up, or they're warm, and I was just baffled by it. But if you're wearing a bodysuit or a swimsuit or a bikini, it means that it's summer. It means that you're gonna go in the water. It means there was so many things. So I had to, unfortunately, I don't have the website to show you guys, but we had to come up with a solution on the product page to explain that bodysuit, no, it's not going to warm you up just because it's polyester and we're in a tropical climate. So there are all these little details that when you create the product, maybe you're not thinking about it or it never crossed your mind, but when you present the product to the market and the questions start to come, that's when you have to pay attention and update your website and update how you present the product, even on social media, and what to highlight, what to explain, what's good or what's okay on the product, depending on many different factors, and what's a variant, what is what is just about the product. I see this a lot, as I said, that example from Spoon and Etsy, where they're explaining about the font and all. They also says like everything is handmade, it's unique, even though the spoons are vintage. So it means that it's not going to be perfect. It's not a pristine new spoon. It might have some some marks and some things from the previous. They call it the previous life of that product. Now all of this, so the customer will receive the product in the mail, and if they see something odd with it, it will it can refer back to the website. It says, oh yeah, there might be some marks and. Or not. So if there's no information about these marks, about this condition of the product, then he might file a complaint, or he might want it to return or exchange, or he'll just have just a bad feeling, a bad customer experience at the end. Anyway, going back to this reference. All of this to say that I'm imagining, I'm guessing here from my experience that this is what happened with this product. So it says here, so Eva Cellulose Fire Globe outdoor fireplace creates a cozy and pleasant atmosphere and warms cool nights on the patio or in the garden. It's a great real bonfire for your backyard. Like I'm sold, especially if you live in the city and you want a little, it really fits your balcony, right? But then the icing here is just it's what I want to highlight for you guys. So please note that the color of the fireplace may differ from pictured. The shade of its coating may be lighter and therefore look more gray than black. So imagine they sold this $400 outdoor fireplace, and I mean, how many complaints they might have gotten from their customers that the product isn't black, it's actually gray. I mean, if you look at the picture, you can clearly see that it's black. But the thing is, it's very tricky to translate colors from reality to the digital file, and then when it's digital, like it will meet different types of screens, and then the user is going to see it differently. So there's so many filters from the real product to the user's eyes, basically. That if you see that it's clearly something complicated, especially with the colors blue and purple, orange, pink, and red, where depending on the light even you see it completely different, it's also always good to highlight this on the product description so there's no confusion at the end. So why do we invest in a great product description? Well, it increases the conversion rate by reducing cart abandons, and afterwards it will reduce exchange and returns. So by making the product very clear in the interface, the customer knows exactly what they're buying, and chances that they'll keep the product at the end are higher. And you'll save time, but not having to explain the same things to different clients many times. And if you're doing that, keep in mind that there are other clients that already gave up on purchasing your product. So this is the spoon example that I was talking about. About the fonts here, how they specify the different fonts, and how she refers to like, oh, you don't know which font you want. Maybe she got that question millions of times. So which one do you recommend? Which one is the best? So she says here, oh, consider Juniper as it's the easiest to read. There it is. And also she says here, please double check your spelling, as I will stamp in the exact way that you've spelled it, including when you've written with upper or lowercase letters. Imagine that she received so many complaints about, oh, but I want everything in caps, I want everything, and all these customer unsatisfaction at the end because they didn't specify exactly. There was a miscommunication there. So she clearly put on this information on her product page, so she'll have so the customer will know exactly what they are, what to expect. And again, all my silverware has been recycled. It's ready to be reloved. Due to its vintage state, some pieces will have signs of wear from a previous life. So that's what I was talking about before. So you're going to see that the product has a little mark, has a little thing, and that's not a defect. That's not an issue. That is just how the product is. And she makes it very clear on her description. And as we said before, the great product description validates what the user sees in this product or video. Again, this reference, this Lululemon product reference is very similar to the cotton one, but with some differences. For example, they say here that they also name the model, so we're connected to her. So Haley is 5'7" and wears a size 4. I personally, I find this really complicated for me to understand. First of all, because I use a metric system. I'm from Brazil. I'm still learning how to do, how to understand inches, and also the metric system works well for me. And second, all of this tells me is that she's tall and skinny. I'm 5'5" and I probably wear a 10 or an 8. So it's really complicated because you can be 5'7" and still wear a 12 or still wear a, it doesn't say much to me personally. So I prefer how cotton does they specify their model body size and type and all the sorts. Anyway, so when you scroll down on the page, you're going to find an accordion, and one of the tabs on the accordion is the product features. So, and this is beautiful because it says everything that you don't see in the picture. I even, like when I read this, I scrolled up, went to the picture again, and I couldn't find the hidden media pocket. I saw in the thumb holes, I think in one of the images, and I had no idea the elastic zipper pull, it doubles as an emergency hair tie. That's a really good thing to know, and that's not something that is obvious on the product image. So before you open your laptop and start typing, you must have it clear to you who your brand is as a persona. Sorry. Having the brand persona clear will help you compose the product descriptions and the collateral copywriting for your e-commerce. And although some e-commerce terms might not change on the interface, depending on your brand and the audience you're targeting, using other words can reinforce your values and personas. In this example, we have a call to action section inviting the user to add their name to the mailing list. And the first one here on the left is a reference from ModCloth again, and they use the term here, the phrase "let's make it official." It's a wordplay. It's a phrase that is expected by their audience. The play word makes sense and and keeps up with the overall, BFF vibe of the website and the brand. The other example on the right is from Lacoste's website. It's a completely different brand. So it's a high-end and more traditional than ModCloth. The brand and the whole website is it's stylish, it's stylish, it's trendy, it's hip, it's aspirational, but it's not friendly. It doesn't have the friendly aspect that ModCloth has. So their call to action is clean and straight to the point, and there is no indication of an instant discount upon registration. So that's another thing that you'll understand from your client, if they're expecting some discount after you submitted their email or not. Again, here's another example from ModCloth, and I like here, just gonna highlight real quick, they use the words Western inspired and daydreaming and romantic, but also socially distanced tea parties. So they're not they're not ignoring what's going on in the world, even though they're wanting us, to buy another dress. And I mean, how many dresses do we need at this point? But if we're not leaving our houses, but still, they still have to sell the dress to someone. And so they're gonna talk about the tea party because it makes sense with the overall vibe and style of this dress, but it's socially distant. So you can understand that they're not ignoring what's going on out there. You must have a clear definition of your target audience. So this brand is called My Bud Face, and it makes beautiful and feminine bongs for an audience often neglected by the cannabis industry, who can so this 35, 40 plus year old women, financially independent, who consumes cannabis and is a luxury consumer. So this is the exact target audience that My Bud Face is reaching. So as they call it, the new elevated marijuana smoker is a female, educated, and driven to success. And their product description matches the brand and speaks with the audience using an intense storytelling. So if we're just going back a little bit, so to compose this type of product description you must have it very clear in your mind. Who are your customers? Are they comfortable using slangs, using serious words? How do they speak? How do they communicate? What are their pains, dreams, and their aspiration points? All this, you can just write this down on a piece of paper, have the bullet points. And if you have a store, or if you do market fairs and stuff, try to remember the connection that you have with these clients and write down everything that you understand about them. This is how My Bud Face does, and it clearly appeals to their target audience. Also highlight what is important for the client to know first. Is it vegan? Is it tested on animals or not? Is it gluten-free? Is it allergy-free? Is it easy to assemble? Do you have free returns and exchanges? Glossier's product page is a great example of what the priority for their audience is to know about the product. So it doesn't have a romantic description. It does have amazing pictures here comparing and showing these products, but it really goes, directly to why it's special and highlights all the more technical aspects of this product, because it's cosmetics at the end, right? So and also and I think it's one of the most important things that you have to keep in mind and write down when you're brainstorming, you're studying how to do your copywriting, is think about your own experience while shopping online. So what upsets you when you're shopping with a purpose, or if you're shopping for fun? The size guides are missing, or the what's in the box, it does it's not really clear. So do your research, visit your competitor's website and take notes on what websites you love and what they're doing to make you happy and what you miss about it. I just put these three screenshots because they're really funny. I mean, these two first ones from BuzzFeed, it's very, from this is Amazon, but this is from the Wish website. And it, everybody complains about it. Like, oh, I bought the chair and it, for $3, really cheap. And it came this tiny doll chair, and maybe they didn't read, maybe it wasn't specified, or maybe they lied. I don't know, but it's just some funny examples. And this one actually happened in Halifax, and I laughed really hard when I saw this. I think he bought something else, and this duck came with it. So what does the best product descriptions have? It helps the user envision their lives with the product in it, and tells the users the pain and the void their lives will suffer if they don't buy that product. And also uses a lot of storytelling to come up with that. So tied benefits to specific product attributes. Don't just say that your product is excellent, which is a benefit, or if you can't provide the receipts or the product attribute. Or else the description is just an empty and generic and probably false. So back up your product with attributes and actual facts. This breast pocket box from Best Made describes the natural behavior of brass. It will develop a patina unique to the user, it says somewhere here in the description, and tells us that this material is the same used for ammunition cartridges. So you can carry it on the next camping trip and it won't fall apart. I mean, it's a beautiful piece. I know exactly what it's made of, and and I know that it's sturdy, but you can also use it, just to decorate your desk. And also remember to sell an experience, especially if you're selling commodities or lower ticket products like soap and basic apparel, like t-shirts and socks, small stationery, small prints, face masks. Really, because these are products that everybody sells. They're very popular. They're very easy to find. So what makes it different? What makes it unique? Always, highlight that on your product description and your pictures, of course. And this is a good example of a soap. Like, what kind of experience does a $7 soap provide? When you consider that all soaps clean and all soaps moisturize, and some soaps have natural ingredients and some not. So, if you can't say, oh, my soap cleans, it does, all soap cleans. So Badmouth Soap is a Halifax-based soap company that made me laugh so much that I just need to buy this. I have a bunch of these soaps in my shopping cart, and I really got to place the order because it's just too good. Although the description is very short and technical, the packaging says it all. And I feel like I can relate to this product, and therefore I need to buy it. I need to have it in my tub. If you can see here, Badmouth soap under his eye, a reference to Handmaid's Tale, for example. And then it says here, soap for filthy people. It's, you can clearly understand the branding and where it comes from and who it, if you're laughing, then you're a target audience. Again, just like Tushy. And also, who doesn't like a good background and insider story? Everyone fails. Failure stories with a happy ending, which this amazing product that you're selling on your on your website, is a good strategy to humanize the brand. So do like a little exercise. Go 20,000 feet up in the air and tell the real story about the product, your brand, the current collection, and how you got there. Who developed or made this product, and who created this product? What inspired you to create it? What obstacles did you need to overcome to develop it? And was the product tested? How did you test it? Here's an example of storytelling and showing the backstory of this brand, Nossa Família Coffee. So the owner has coffee farms down in Brazil. They're based in the States, but they source all over the world, but Brazil is where they started. And so you can see pictures of him carrying the coffee bags and the farm and everything. So you understand you're relating to that brand. And also provide social receipts. Customer reviews are key. So customer reviews are going to be that friend that you're taking with you on your shopping trip. So they will help you and make a decision if if that product fits well, if it's it's too large, or if it's too small, or the color wasn't compatible with what they saw online. And so you'll have more information than what just the brand is showing you. I mean, what you were showing to the customer, like the customer can count on other reviews and other information and data to help make their decision. And so if you're using Shopify, I highly recommend the Judge Me app or the Stamped IO apps to automatically gather reviews for your products, for your websites. So you don't have to go manually and ask each client to leave a review. Like it's a system that just triggers an email, and you can reward them with points and discounts or whatever, or not reward them at all. And finally, I will leave you here with 3 little tools that can help you write. One thing that I didn't bring up in this presentation is how important grammar, spelling is to e-commerce. If you look at a website that has a typo, they're confusing your and your. It doesn't look that nice. It doesn't look so professional. So we have to, have a clear and a beautiful grammar and a beautiful vocabulary online. Doesn't matter if you're using slangs or not. It matters that you're using it correctly. So here's some three tools that you can use. I personally use Grammarly. It's you can install it on your browser, and it will automatically trigger weird things on your text. The paid plan is a little more expensive. I use the free plan, but the paid plan is a little more expensive, but it's very user friendly and checks your copy in real time. These other two are alternatives to Grammarly, and they kind of work the same way, and each one has their own advantages, the pros and cons. So take a look at them when you can. And that's it. I have, I think we'll have some time for some questions.
Sure, we have a few questions here. One I've got from Kyle, and it's with regard to text and photos. How do you protect your intellectual property? Like, how do you keep other people from, like, you take all the time to write and to take these nice pictures? How do you protect your site from people stealing them?
Yeah, you can always use a watermark on your pictures with your brand. I'm not a big fan of that because you can, it can distract the user from what you're seeing. But there's another way to protect your images by, so if you're using Lightroom, for example, you can save all the metadata of that picture and the copyright information. So when they're online and someone downloads that picture, that image, they will have, all this information is going to follow that file. So that's one way, but at the same time, you can always screenshot the image. It's a really hard thing to control. But if you spot someone using your image in another website, you should definitely reach out and ask them to take it down. As for description, again, they can, and anyone can copy either by screenshotting or by rewriting. So again, it's something that's really hard to track. But one thing about original product descriptions, if you're a serious merchant, you have a serious shop, and you're concerned about your brand and the originality of your content, you're going to create original product descriptions. You're not just going to copy. So if someone else is copying your descriptions, like, they're going to be blacklisted by Google, because Google's going to see that that's plagiarism, and that's something that they'll lose points in the long run on their website search results. So yeah, like, even if you're selling, you're reselling products, like you're importing, like buying from an importer and then reselling on your website, like grocery products, for example, and you can get this description from the supplier. Always, play around with it a little bit, like rewrite that description. Don't just boldly copy and paste it on your website, because that's not going to look good. It's not going to have your voice, and Google is going to understand that that's plagiarism and might blacklist your website in the long run.
Great. I have another question here from Penny, and it's how much is too much description?
Oh, there is not too much description. I mean, it always depends on how you're presenting it. So, for example, if you're describing your product technically in 5 paragraphs, that's a bit too much. Like, you would prefer to have them in bullet points if you have all this, this much content to add to your product page. But romantic description, the more the merrier. There's, and if you can describe your product in, absolutely everything, it's much better for your user at the end, because they will have less doubts and less concerns about the product, and they're gonna reach out to you. They're gonna bug you less, to ask the same repeated questions. So there's no formula, no exact number of lines that is ideal. Important is be unique and be clear. If a good test is create your product page, show it to your mom or your dad or your uncle. If they understand, then you're good. You did a good job.
Okay, I've got one last question here. How do you look for help or for like maybe writers to help you write the romantic parts of your product?
You can, well, if you're not feeling very creative or writing is not for you, you can always hire a freelancer. Shopify has a really good, I think they call it Shopify Gurus. They have like a marketplace for freelancers, and you can easily find someone there that can help you out with product descriptions. Or you can, these apps that I mentioned before, Grammarly, Ginger, there are other apps that are mostly focused on writers, like, I'm gonna say real writers, but article writers, book writers, and this sort of thing. But they can help with not writing. They're not going to write for you, but they're gonna map what is making sense, what can be synonyms for some words, how you can write it in to make it clear. And there's even one that actually gives you the feedback of what kind of grade you're writing that can then be understood by. Like project, depending on the product that you have too, like if it's something that you created yourself and you can't write about it, and I understand how hard that is to sell something that you're creating yourself. I think ideally, I think it would be to reach out to a freelancer or a consultant or someone that can, at least start, write 10 different products descriptions for you, so you have a base on how to start writing the next. Because it also depends on, like, this is expensive. This is an expensive job to outsource, but it's key, and it's very important for conversion. So I would recommend, like, learning it, how to write yourself, and especially if you're starting, if you're a small business, you don't have much budget for it. Like everything else, we have to be our bookkeepers, we have to be our photographers as well, as we saw last week, and now we have to be our own writers.
Well, thank you, Tina, and thank you for helping us understand the importance of writing accurate and engaging product descriptions and showing us so many great examples. Good product descriptions can help your prospective customers understand what you're selling, how to use it, and why they want to buy it from you. Good writing helps customers build confidence and trust, and ultimately helping to convert them from browsers to buyers. As always, the Halifax Partnership Smart Business Team is here to help you. If you need assistance as you're going through the process of getting your business online, reach out to any one of us here at the partnership, and we're happy to connect you to the resources you need. Thank you again, Tina, and to all of you for joining us this morning. And I look forward to visiting all of your websites online. Have a great day.